Okay. My God, there's no consistency. I'm so sorry. It's because I use my computers for different things and I move the audio everywhere all the time and I unplug my microphone from one, put it on the other, and then Windows doesn't know how to go back to tranquility. What's up? Welcome to my office. Uh, Today, as I'm trying to do every day, we're going to be looking at a couple of details. Really going to watch the market open. We're going to chit chat. I'm probably going to watch this video on how Gen Z is fucked. Uh, how, well, we're all really fucked in the end. How no one's gonna have ownership anymore, and everything will be rent till you die. If you've ever seen the musical Rent, manifested. So that's not exciting, but it is interesting to watch, and I think everyone needs to see it. And really, we'll probably talk more on the case of like basics of financing, things that school didn't teach you, or me. I had to learn this stuff on my own. I had to teach how a mortgage, I had to learn how a mortgage works, how the signing of papers went, the process, the finding of a tenant, to rent out the house that my mother left me. I learned how to invest my money after playing Rise of Kingdoms, a mobile gacha game that I actually spent a couple of $1,000s on. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why don't I just put that same money in from this stupid game to the market? And it went well. It helped me actually maintain the house. If I didn't do that, I would have been effed. So effed. I just took a shower, so excuse the wet hair. So I think in a video upcoming soon, we're gonna talk a lot more about finances, about how credit is bad, how buy now, pay later is a trap, and how our actions deduct the future that we will eventually foresee for ourselves. And if we don't stop doing horrible, horrible habits, well, we might as well just give up and rent everything, shouldn't we? But I don't think we have that. We're not there yet. We have a chance. We have a chance to not have that future. And that's what's important. Oh, that's what is indeed importante. My life? I should be alive. Okay, I am alive. Some of these things need to be refreshed. Refresh. Refresh. So the market's actually doing very weird right now. Very, very, very unweird. Very, very weird. Very weird. Let's take a look, shall we? First, let's take a look at the sentiment in chat. Let's see, let's see. Excited to see options open. 9:23, we have 7 minutes. Normally options don't open until the actual day starting. So depends on what kind of trader you are. There it is. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay. So in a previous analysis, I had a two potential. I mean, actually, I think it was alive. Was it alive? Yeah, it was alive. On the two not wine market. Yeah, there it is. On this one, I did like a huge, yes, a 3 hour and something analysis on everything from T-bills to market, ETFs, trends, um, crypto, and thorough analysis on how I see the market. So hopefully It's educational, not just informatory as far as current market trends. But one of the things I said was the pattern in which these tealish green areas get filled is going to deduct the next steps of the market. This was around this time. I was hoping to see this and then a bounce up, and then we can go up. Because again, there is a tendency to have a gravitational pull towards these areas. What are these areas? These are gaps, a gap in the price action. So I've essentially thrown these as gaps here. The red area is a solid liquidity zone. If I go back to about a daily, let's see where they come from. Oh, well, yeah, the solid liquidity zone is the downtrend, right? This is what's catching us. We have dead cat bounces, dead cat bounces, dead cat bounces. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. So this is the gap that we came from here. This is the gap from here. These two gaps were going to be essentially very, very important. Had to be. But the problem is we filled the top one first. So we have to understand gaps have a type of gravitational pull in the short term. Really, it's weak in the short term, but as time goes forward, they get more and more intense. So we've got a upward pulling gravitational here and a downward here. I was hoping we can fill the bottom, get rid of that gap fill, and then naturally float up to get to fill the top with not only not only those gap fills, but the downward channel breakout. That was actually the best combination I can think for a bull market. Not only would we break out of this channel up, but we would accompany an assisting upward gap. And then we can break through this cloud, this MA cloud right here. That is really the next concern, is if we had that, we would watch this space here to see if we're strong enough to break through. However, my hopes and dreams for a stable market haven't really manifested because what actually happened? Well, we decided to bounce halfway through the gap, go up. I was maybe even thinking, oh, look how tricky they are. They would have half filled the gap and then we would have bounced back down and really, really like run everyone dry. Like the volatility, I was thinking was like, all right, they're gonna try and half fill the bottom, half fill the top, then use the bottom again, then use the top, and then we can leave off of the top. However, we filled the top gap fill, so now we don't have a upward pull anymore. We filled half of the bottom gap, we went up, filled most, and then slowly creeped up to the top. And even worse from all this is we just fell out of that gap. We're out. We've done everything we need to do. We spent 2, 3 days in this gap. That is plenty. Like, if there was bullish intention, it would have been an upward breakout. But then we'd have the bottom gap, so then you'd be thinking about, oh crap, we're gonna meet that eventually too. But if there was bullish intention, gap fills are quick. They're not 3 days worth of time. They're like a couple of hours, quick, snappy, not bad. Here, what it sounds like, what it looks like was a just, you got a wet towel and you're slowly wringing out the water. You're wringing out the water. And who's the wet towel? It's the retail investors. They're squeezing out every single amount of excitement they can from these gaps. And not even retail, because retail I don't think uses gaps. I would say more algorithms use these gaps. So it almost does look like they're potentially effing fudging with the algorithms. 1 minute left, so we're about to find it. So I was hoping for a complete gap fill and then boom. So what's the opposite of this? Well, we're about to find out, but I'm very sure it's going to be boom, maybe some play and volatility, because it is a very exciting market right now. And then what happens when we come down into the gap from the top? We re-enter and get denied by the bottom of our trend. We've been fighting this bottom for a while though. Once we broke down below this bearish trend down, it was a very quick breakdown. We went through, we tried to go above it, we got denied. We tried to do it very quickly. Let me get a little bit better here. Let me get rid of itchy. There we go. See? That's much better. So we broke down, look at the test in the pre-market. That's the weird part. These things should happen during daily, but they're happening in pre-market. And then we couldn't reach up, got denied. We tried to reach up, got denied. We did it. Yes, great. Then pre-market, something cool happened, and then it quickly got denied. I don't like pre-market and post-market. I think those are sketchy time periods and low liquidity and easily manipulated. Eventually, we tried again. How convenient. We got a gap fill. Not a gap fill, a up gap in the opening. Um, and they decided to bounce on the technicals of the bottom of that trend. But this tells me it's not a natural trend. This was a forced gap up. This was a recalibration of algorithms. Oh, okay, we got a gap. Okay, what's the next trend below? It's support. It's the previous downtrend. Okay, a very big downtrend as well, long term. So a lot of algorithms said, all right, buy here. And we played around this, played around it. We went up, down, down. Again, another gap up. I mean, this is a pre-market pump, right? But or post-market pump, but still, you would call that a gap. And this was an official gap on the daily. So this is the one we're watching now to get filled. The other one was from way yonder on the downward process. So we had this one first, and here's the thing about gaps, they get filled in order. There is no backwards order. They should technically get filled in order in which they occurred, but that's the higher probability case. You can never say that it's always this way. There's nothing of 100%. So like 70% of gaps get filled in order, 30% will essentially reverse the order, whichever one's closer or whichever one the algorithms get attracted to more. So this one happened first, so it happened to be the first one they got just filled. And then we got another one. This one, the more recent gap is now going to be active. And we have that. We have a downwards force from the gap fill. It's pulling us down. We already have this downward trend uh manifesting here. I mean, look at that dump. That's a half percent and a half in pre-market. I mean, look at the volume in pre-market. This is scared volume. This is not normal volume. Look at any other pre-market on the map. Here, pretty calm. Here, not so calm. Here, pretty calm with a little pop. Here, calm. Here, you just don't see as many big bars in pre-market and post-market. This one, bam, something's happening here. People getting shaky. But then again, this is the purpose, right? We're just following technicals. So when you see the technicals are starting to really manifest, the demand, the actual natural bullish demand is gone and people are just playing technicals. And as soon as that technical gets filled and then you see everything go in whatever direction it was going originally, we're back to natural price movement. Oh man, it's gonna be what a interesting day. So Itchy's underneath. We got denied by the downward. So here's another case. I mentioned it many times. There's a downward force on red itchy clouds. So if we can break above it, it's very strong. If we get denied by that, not so strong. But again, we've just filled this whole gap. We don't have to think about it anymore. It's done. So now we're back to normal trends. Oh, look, they're talking politics. Politics in. Oh, I guess this whole tariff thing didn't work out, huh, Donnie? I don't know, man. This tariff thing is chaos. To me, the tariff thing is not for the purpose of getting these tariffs to fix anything. Like Trump said, he's voted in on the basis of what he's doing. Um, Tariffs will fix things in the long term, but they're not going to be good in the short term. And I don't think they're there to be good in the short term. I don't think Trump did it for that case. I think people are tired of, and this is from me looking at people's words online, talking to many people, watching a lot of content that relates to everyday people, and this is with views in the millions. People know, they're aware that the banks got bailed out 2008. They know that, they're not stupid. And they're tired of this continuous up and down ride we're in. And because of that, basically they're crashed out, man. People are crashed out dealing with politics, and people are crashed out dealing with banks getting bailed out. So what's the next step? Let's try democracy. Well, people have been trying to, well, I mean, you've got mortgage protection. You've got all of these services for the regular people that eventually gets hijacked by individuals with money and then gets service to those that are benefited with financial incentives. Mortgages get protected, but whose mortgage is getting protected? You know what I mean? And people realize that any type of service, anything that tries to get done in Congress and the Senate, it just doesn't work. Democracy doesn't work. So what happens when democracy doesn't work? Well, people choose a type of violence, if you will, not a physical violence. In this case, an economic one. So enter Trump, a chaotic individual with a history of chaotic business, to say the least, and basically a scammer. But you know what? It takes a scammer to know a scammer. And based on his aspirations as a leader, well, he was chosen to do the thing. And the thing is to crash the market because the regular people are tired of the market. 70% of people own 5% of the market. So if that sucker goes down, no one's really losing, not at least the base that voted for Trump. The only people losing are, well, people with 401ks, which are old people. Young people don't care about that anymore. They are fending for themselves and making their own savings if possible, if that's even a thing. Investment firms that people opt in to invest in, which is going to be anyone with extra money that they can use, but most people can't even like pay off $1,000 emergency medical, car, auto, house, anything. They just cannot afford $1,000. So where are they going to get money to invest in these firms? And it turns out that most of the market, about 90% of it, is owned by 10, 15% of the richest people on the planet in the United States, which might as well be on the planet. Because then you have to consider there's also foreign investors also investing in. So maybe even on the planet. And people are pissed and they're not involved in the stock market. And the problem with that is if you don't involve every single person in the stock market, what's the majority? There's no majority that's going to be like, hey, we need to do something about this. We need to save the stock market. You only got 10% screaming about it. The other 80% is like, meh, let it crash. They want to buy the dip anyway. The big dip, the mother of all Milky Way dips. And again, if you want to save something, you have to have at least 50% participation. You can't just have a club, a gold club with special privileged high finance people and expect that system to be stable when the other 90% are not behind your club. Which is the thing about humans. They always want to put themselves off in a corner, separate themselves from the masses. Even though we're a communal type of system, social being, we work better in communities and social aspects. We work better as a group versus trying to be alone. So the high stakes people, they essentially go to their own little 10% corner and they expect the other 50, 60, 70, 80% to somehow be behind their own investments. Hey, the market's going down. You need to save it. It's bad. People are like, well, I'm not in the market. Are you? Like they start asking each other. No, I'm not in the market. Are you? Okay, cool. So what does it matter for us? And when you have the majority of people, if not the mega majority of people, not involved in this thing you call a market, I mean, they don't care. So no matter how much you spew it on the TV, oh, the market's going down. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. This and this. No one's gonna care. No one's gonna listen. And mainstream media already has a very, very, very bad what's the word? Reputation because they're also invested in this market. Oh, surprise, surprise. So the people that have invested in this market, the 10, 15%, they're the ones crying about it. Everyone else is like, oh, well, we voted for him, so let him do what he's gonna do. And there's your tariffs. Now, on the fundamentals of this, will it fix things in the future? It has a high probability to. Recession comes with deflation. That's important. The only problem with governments, they love inflation because they love to pay the $100 that you borrowed or the $100 they borrowed when they gave you a T-bill 10, 15 years ago. They want to pay you off with, well, the money that they were holding, which now inflated to not 100, but 150. So they're going to pay off, give you the money back with a little interest. They'll give you 115, 25. But that money is now worth 150. So they technically made money from inflation. Do you see what I mean there? Government loves inflation. And when you talk deflation, the virus, the virus starts to get a little scared. So yeah, the tariffs are going to cause a recession. The recession is going to cause deflation, and assets are going to tumble, especially when overinflated assets. That's just how it works. That's the fundamentals of it. You can't argue against it. And understandably so, well, people don't like it because they're going to lose on the market, which is like, whatever. Whoop-de freaking do for the rest of them. If you know how to trade, you're making money up and down. To a trader, this is a playground. To anyone else that just buys and holds, this is not really a good place to be. for sure. Not a great place. Howdy, Shanker. Oh, yep. So, in a nutshell, that is how it works. I need to listen to some music. Let's bring on some jams and watch the market. Gotta make some moves. DJT also printing some shorts. If you know how to make money up and down, man, it's all it is in the end. Oof, still going, man. Still going, still going. I need to change the code to that too. Let's see, a little bit of transparency. We got 520. Do this one. Hmm, still not that great. 8, full transparency. 5, 245. Let's do 230. And then 210. Uh, BRB. Oh, no, still doing it. It's still doing it. It's a downward move. There's the exit. So it's basically still on a downward trend, no strength. We are low on RSI, so you'd figure that'd be enough of a bounce back, but I mean, I guess the bounce back was right here. We're under moving averages. Oh, how much did we move just now? Oh, it's just so bloody. 2% since pre-market. Yikes, man. Well, how's my puts doing? I hate making money on the downward market, but that's just how it works. When they give you the ability to do so, why wouldn't you? Until they make shorting illegal or they stop giving us the ability to short, then. Sox S. Oh, my Sox S is 5,000%. Well, how much I buy it for? Okay, well, my average cost is pretty meh. Oh, here we go again. BRB. We're not done yet, are we? I mean, considering that market's volatile on open, I don't trade normally the first hour. 3 30-minute bars is my general rule. I don't trade on the first 3 30-minute bars. The Cybertrends. Oh, okay. Doji, we kind of have a double bottom. No, we don't. No, we don't. We're just gonna have another upward channel breakdown. All right, well, Trump is a gift to the short traders. I mean, that's true. Progress on Tinea. She's doing great on the current content. We've gone forward to what are we doing in that? Let me see. Tinea. Whoa. Why did I mute? I'm dumb. Oh, I had to do some work. Sorry, y'all. Had a call. Had to organize some documents for a friend of mine. And it was quiet. I thought the music was playing, but apparently I just muted that too. On the prize, but the past so blind. No shortcuts here, straight mind over mind. Grit in my veins, hustle refined. Underdog vibes, intuition my guide. In a world so loud, trust the quiet inside. Haters throw shade, still walk my stride. In this game of life, staying bona fide. Pressure cooker life, but I stay so poised. Ignore the fake chatter, that background noise. Gut feeling sharp, no time for ploys. Cut through the fog, making power moves, boy. Tell the odds what's up, I'm destined to win. Counting fame and blessings, not just Benjamins. Dodging fake friends and predatory grins. Tunnel vision clean, eyes where the end begins. Underdog vibes, intuition my guide. In a world so loud, trust the quiet inside. Haters throw shade, still walk my stride. In this game of life, staying bona fide. Weird. Oh. It's not that strong though. It's gonna top the bottom of our open, which is right now. Or our bottom of our post market. It's gonna get denied. It has a chance, but that's a downward movement on that cloud, so I'm wondering if I should increase my success. Here's a useful one for you. Oh. If you look up socks S it's a highly leveraged semiconductor reverse play. When market crash, this goes down, inflated semiconductor market gets a bit bloody. So it's a good use there to make some money when semiconductors lose money. When you know the tricks, play responsibly. This is all theoretical. Educational purposes only. Garbage, thick haze in the room, dripping toxins, each post like flowers in bloom. I hurdle their traps, no bait for the beast, feeding fire to creation, not jaded critique. I think I'm gonna buy more though. That's amazing dong candles. I am the current, they swim and they drown. Duels of distraction, I put the crown down. Grabbing the focus, the gold and the glare. Wanted and unwanted, hand snatch at the air. I'm building mountains, no sandcastles to trade. I produce what I live, not consume what they made.
Grabbing the focus, the gold in the glare. Wanted and unwanted, hand snatch at the air. I'm building mountains, no sandcastles to trade. I produce what I live, not consume what they made.
Hmm.
Sweat dripping bricks of time, stacking to a tower. Chasing worth like bees drawn to the flower. Hands blistered,
Coffee time.
goals or schemes.
Need more
Burning my
coffee.
soul just to fund these dreams. They see me glisten, think the crime's for sale. Integrity intact, no spot on the scale. Price of fame's heavy, down a Houdini cloud. Built this from the dirt while they scream out loud. Bargain on my sweat, but ignore my hustle soul. Pawned for a crown, nah, that's not my goal. Loose change chatter, but the bill's still unpaid. Earned every inch in the trenches I weighed. Turn heads, now they plotting the auction. Face in the crowd, now I'm the main attraction. But my worth ain't found in applause or a boast. Loyal to the grind, I'm a fan of my ghost. They see me glisten, think the crime's for sale. Integrity intact, no spot on the scale. Price of fame's heavy, down a Houdini cloud. Built this from the dirt while they scream out loud. Rope burns, hug my hands, climbing higher. Heart pumping, fuel live wire, no low tire. Tried to brand me, but I own this name. Stamped by the grind, not by hype or fame. Rope burns, hug my hands, climbing higher. Heart pumping, fuel live wire, no low tire. Try to brand me, but I own this name. Stamped by the grind, not by hype or fame.
Mile high like
No.
mountains over time. Echoes of knowledge through the silent chime. Pens and paper scattered, a scholar's plight. Midnight oil burns without a respite. Fingers on keys, soul whispers tune. Notes flow freely under the moon. Worlds apart, yet close in thought with every melody.
Little watchers, viewers out there on the internets, YouTubers,
Whispers of
like cats.
in
I have a black cat. His name is Shadow.
so bright. Pages turn, dreams take flight. In the study, hearts unite. Windows open, stars casting spells. In a room where endless stories dwell. Eyes weary, yet spirits high. Under the lamplight, ambitions fly. A lullaby of wisdom in the air. Tangled notes that show you care. With every chord, the heart does bind the universe in a state of mind. Silent whispers of the night. In the darkness shine so
But you and than everybody here for advice in this, I'll first come through it, then do you, oh Loa.
Right.
dance in the rain. Now it's just me and the pain. Every word was a lie, every tear we both cried. You said forever and always, now it's just cloudy days. Pictures burn in the fire, guess you're not what I desire. Over and gone, it's just me. I'm moving on, can't you see? Heartbreak can't steal my groove. I got my own way to move. Dark nights turn into morning light. I'll be alright, out of sight. No more you in my dreams. I'm running brand new schemes. You left me out in the cold. Now I'm out of your hole. No more listening to lies. Time to say my goodbyes. Over and gone, it's just me. I'm moving on, can't you see? Heartbreak can't steal my groove. I got my own way to move. I got my own way to move.
Ah, what's up? What's up?
Oh, left me out in the cold. Now I'm out of your home.
How you doing
No
out
more
there, YouTube?
listening to lies. Time to say my goodbyes. Over and gone, it's just me. I'm moving on, can't you see? Heartbreak can't steal my groove. I got my own way to move.
Oh, oh.
In the darkness, the neon glows. Pulsing beats a rhythm go. Electric currents flowing through the air.
Where the hell did it go? Oh my God. Okay. I heard baby oil stock is booming. Ooh, it's not doing good. It's flattening out right underneath our cloud. No bueno. We're all paper traders. This place makes me overconfident. Uh, Thursday. Let's do Saturday. Reschedule Grant for Saturday at 1. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Trying again at that. Oh, maybe, maybe not. Test. There